Hi, this is Christina Morrison coming to you live once again from HX 2019, and I am over in the Foodservice Pioneering Concept booth with Joseph Schumacher, who is the CEO and president of Foodspace, and we are talking all about your concept here, Duality. Joe, tell us about the setup here.
Sure, thank you very much. So, this started as kind of thinking about if we were going to build something portable and flexible and shippable, what would we build? And as a food service consultant and designer, it's my responsibility to advise our clients, create something that they can use in multiple day parts, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Create something that's flexible and portable. And the challenge in hotels and trade shows and sporting events is that, the equipment's really fixed and it requires a lot of infrastructure and a lot of power. And so we wanted to create something that was really flexible, as I mentioned, and that's what Duality is doing.
Well, you can't really see it in the video, but it is behind us, but there's a lot to it in this space. Can you kind of describe the inspiration from the design here?
Yeah, absolutely. I love poke, and actually my son loves poke. When you walk through a poke restaurant, you start and you get that hot rice at the bottom, right? Or you can choose salad, right? And then you build it up. So you've got this hot and cold thing going on with the sushi rice and then the cold fish. And so I wanted to think about concepts that would drive the hot and cold concept. And so as I started thinking through that and drawing things out, I realized that the yin-yang and the donut are kind of this really cool shape. And so we took that shape, it's actually a circle, and we blew it up into 6 pieces. So the center of the yin-yang, one of those pieces became our cash register system, and then the other became our hand sink behind the scenes. And then the rest of the circle, donut, whatever you want to call it, got split into 4 shapes. Now those 4 shapes can be completely reconfigured and rearranged. In fact, we've come up with over 40 or 50 different configurations. And in fact, over on the other side of the booth, we have a VR setup where you can see 8 different versions that we came up with and drew and put equipment in. But this first concept really was this kind of poke bowl thought process where the guests would walk through, choose their base, choose their fish, choose their condiments, and then on the other side come out with this really delicious hot and cold dish. And that's where the name Duality came from, because we're hot and cold, the yin and the yang, and sort of the flexibility and portability. Those are the things that we're really focused on.
And you don't have to use it just with poke. You can use it any type. Talk about some of the other setups or different ways that facilities can set this up.
That's right, and actually this particular exact layout, we've come up with several, if not even 20 food concepts. So like this morning, we served a yogurt parfait breakfast offering out of it. In the evening time, the rice warmer can pull out of the way, it's on casters, and you can put a kegerator in there and have beer on tap instantly. So the idea here was that throughout multiple day parts, you can have different menu items, but then that's just in this configuration, right? You could easily swap out this equipment for other types of equipment, all the way up to and including some of the new ventless technologies that are out. One of our sponsor partners is actually Volrath. They build a downdraft induction unit that you could push in place, and you could actually cook right here in a pop-up on a show floor and be completely health department compliant. And that's really important, right? We've got a lot of regulatory issues going on in the food space right now, and so this has to comply to all of those.
Now, you also talked about the different pieces that are together. Is everything locked in, or can you do something custom if you wanted to? No,
that's right. And one of our goals with this unit was to actually create something that was sort of this stock layout and fabrication from the standpoint of the framing and the weights that it carries and the way it hooks up to electricity. Those things are sort of already figured out and engineered. What's custom is what equipment we place into it, which direction it faces, is it full service or self-service, in fact, to the point where we can actually customize where in the morning time maybe it's full service and then in the evening time maybe it's self-service. So we're kind of playing around with this concept of stock custom, where it's not fully customized piece that's going to keep the cost down, but it is very custom. You can pick some of your finishes, you can pick out looks, you can pick the equipment that's in it to serve your exact needs.
And I'm sure you're getting some feedback from the HX attendees here as well today. Where do you see the future of food service going, especially when it comes to how things get set up?
Yeah, I mean, look, millennials and Gen Z are very different buyers, right? And they're looking for two things in food. And as the food service industry, part of the industry, continues to take market share from grocery, because that's what's happening, millennials are looking for one of two things. They're either looking for convenience or they're looking for experience. And those are two very different things. What's interesting about Duality is it sort of sits in the middle of that. We can provide very convenient, very quick options and solutions, but then we can also create really interesting experiences. We can pop up in places that nobody ever thought about putting food before. So, one of that's the other sort of background to this is, how are millennials and Gen Z going to buy food in the future, and how are we going to create systems and serving systems and other things that sort of meet those demands? And so I think that's where we're heading, and Duality certainly fits that mold.
You're definitely looking towards the future. Well, for those watching that maybe want to find out more information about Foodspace and Duality, where do they do that?
Yeah, absolutely. We're based in Silicon Valley. We've got a great team, and our website is myfoodspace.com. You can check us out there. We're a full-service, independent food service consulting firm. So we do design, 3 buckets of business: design, management, consulting, and then also innovation.
All right, well, you heard it here, and remember, you can see a lot of those configurations on the HX website, I'm sure on Foodspace as well. Continue to follow along with HX 2019 by using the hashtag HX 2019. Joe, I'll let you get back to the food space here at the Foodservice Pioneering Concept. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for watching. I'm Christina Morrison.